What's going on YouTube? My name is Casey Kelly, and today I'm gonna teach you the right way to train on a bulk. Throughout the entire video, I'll be giving you my 5 best tips to make sure you're making the most amount of gains as possible in the gym while you're bulking, and you're gonna wanna stick around to the end of the video because I'll probably be giving you a bonus tip or two. I'll also be hitting and giving you an entire leg day while I give you the tips, so we gotta change into some more leg day friendly attire. That is a lot more like it. We got the Hoochie shorts on, showing off the leg, the Young LA Olympic shorts. We got the tight compression hoodie on top, the Young LA Super Villain compression. And this is just a little reminder that Young LA's Black Friday sale is going live Tuesday, November 21st at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the entire website is 30% off with code Casey. Go cop some drip, just like the stuff I'm wearing right now. But in order to start giving y'all some tips, I gotta get going to the gym. So let's go crush this leg day. Sitting outside the gym now, sipping on my pre-workout, and that means it is time for tip number 1 because I want to cover all of the bases right now. The basics is the most important, so it is tip number 1. Make sure you are training to failure every single set. You have to train hard if you want to make progress. You have to force your body to grow. Your body doesn't want to grow. It's a hard thing to build muscle, and your body would rather not do that, so you have to force it to grow so that it's like, oh, this is really hard. Next time, I want to make this easier, so I'm going to grow muscle so that I can make it easier next time. If that makes any sense to y'all. And you want to be doing around 6 to 12 reps because this is going to make sure you're in the hypertrophic range, but it's also not going to fatigue you as much because you want to be training close to failure. And if you have to do 20, 25 reps to reach failure, you're really fatiguing your muscles without any extra benefit. 6 to 12 reps, train to failure, 2 to 3 sets per exercise, and you are absolutely golden. I'm going to finish this pre-workout and then we're going to get going into the gym to absolutely destroy our quads in this quad focus leg day. I'm going to keep it a buck. It's been about 30 minutes since that last clip. I sat in the sauna for about 10 minutes and then I did a pre-leg day ritual in the bathroom for quite a while. I don't need to explain that any further, but I am over here on the calf press and you might be like, Casey, why the heck are you doing calf press first in your leg day? And that brings me to tip number 2, train your lagging body parts first in the workout. Yes, that even means if your calves are lacking, do calves before you do quads like I am today. As you can tell, my calves are lacking a little bit in relation to my quads. So we're over here, we're gonna hit 2 hard sets of some standing calf raise and we're gonna get into it. Without further ado, let's start killing these calves. I'll also be hitting some adductors before I squat because they are one thing that makes your legs look absolutely huge. It's this entire area right here that's not my quad. So I'm gonna be hitting those before I squat as well to make sure we're making our legs look as beefy as possible. I had to jerry-rig the machine and add an extra 25-pound plate because it's maxed out and I don't have a gym pin. So I used one of the pins from the other machines that nobody's using, but we're maxed out. We're gonna see what we can do with this working set and we're gonna blow up these adductors. I'm thinking everything you want. As I warm up over here on Smith machine squats, that's gonna bring me to tip number 3, and that is to absolutely perfect your form. And you might be asking, Casey, what does perfecting your form actually mean? And that means going full range of motion on every single exercise, getting deep into your squats, not just 90 degrees, as low as you can go, your hamstrings touching your calves and exploding on the way up. It's also about using the right tempo. We don't wanna shoot right down into the bottom of our squat like this. We wanna use a nice tempo, slow on the way down, and explode on the way up and squeeze on every rep. You see my quads tense up? That means I'm squeezing the muscle and I'm getting the best mind muscle connection. Nobody cares how much weight is actually on the bar. They care more about the size of your muscles. And that's what we're trying to do. We're bodybuilders here. We're not powerlifters. We're not stopping here and going up. We're going all the way down. You might also be curious why I'm doing Smith machine squats and not barbell squats. I would actually normally do either hack squat or pendulum squat, but this gym doesn't have one. And Smith machine squats are the most stable exercise that I can get in a squat variation. So I'm gonna do these. And the more stable
stable exercises are gonna produce the most growth because you can focus on pushing straight with the target muscle. Your lower back isn't hindering you. No other muscle group is hindering you other than the muscle group that you're actually trying to hit. So going with more stable exercises rather than more free weight technical exercises are gonna help you a lot more in the long run if your goal is growth. C-Bum does Smith machine squats. A bunch of people do Smith machine squats that have absolutely ginormous legs. So if you don't want to take my word for it, take theirs for it. All right, we got 3 dishes and a quarter on the bar here on the Smith machine. I don't know how many pounds that equates to. Really doesn't matter. We are going to get into this squat set. I'm gonna go as heavy as I can, obviously. That's what I'm doing. And I'm gonna go as hard as I can. Sometimes you just gotta shut the F up and squat. Well, I got 6. That's what I mean by sometimes you gotta shut the fuck up and squat, man. Dropped you down to 3 plates. Don't know if you can tell, but this brings me to one of the other little tips, not a main tip. You should be starting your workouts as heavy as you can possibly go. You don't wanna pyramid up, you wanna pyramid down if needed. Like if I could do another set of 3 plates and a 25 and still hit my rep range of 6 to 12, I would keep doing it. You don't wanna work your way up. You wanna do your most intense sets as heavy as possible at the beginning of your workout and the beginning of the exercise. I wouldn't wanna do this and then do 3 plates and a 25 because then I'm gonna be weaker when I move to the heavier weight because I'm fatigued. If you get what I'm saying. Also, curious why I wear knee sleeves. When I bulk, I start getting heavier, I start moving more weight, and my knees just start hurting. So I wear them. We're about to hit this set, and then we're gonna move on to some leg press. All right, we're over here on leg press, on the hip press machine. We are doing 6 plates, and that brings me to tip number 4 of the video, and that is to make sure you are progressively overloading. Last week, I did 5 plates and a 25. This week, I'm doing 6 plates, and you wanna be increasing the weight as often as you possibly can. Of course, keeping your form and your technique absolutely perfect. That is one way to make sure you are building muscle. If you are increasing the weight with the same form and getting the exact same amount of reps, that means you are building muscle. So make sure you're progressively overloading. Progressively overloading isn't, like I said before, pyramiding up in weight. That's not progressive overload. That's something completely different. Progressive overloading is getting stronger in the same exercises week after week after week. That is one of the main drivers of growth. So you want to make sure you're doing that. We're only going to hit 1 set of this, and we are going to absolutely hammer it. Let's see how many I can get. So as you can see with that set, we got a little overzealous from last week and we didn't hit our rep range, which is totally okay. Failing is part of the growth process. We got 4 or 5, I don't know. If I got 1 or 2 extra reps, we would be perfectly in the rep range. I'm gonna drop this back down and make sure I hit my actual set. But that's a great example. I didn't plan for that to happen, but failing is completely okay. That means you're pushing your boundaries. And next week, I could probably get this because my body is now primed for 6 plates. Let's pray this goes better than the other set. We're gonna get after it. Let's go. All right, over here on leg extensions, I'm gonna speed this up. You're gonna see a montage, and then I'm gonna catch up with you for tip number 5 of the video. We have finally wrapped up that absolutely brutal leg day, and we are feeling super, super juicy in our legs. If you made it up until this point of the video, make sure you comment juicy because that leg pump is crazy. But I always feel when I get a leg pump, my legs look worse because they lose definition because all the blood's in them. Like when I don't have a leg pump, I got cuts all the way up into the hip flexors, all this, that, and the other. But right now, they kind of look like crap because I got a pump. That sounds backwards, but that's how it always is with legs for me. But I do need to give you all the last tip of the video, but we're gonna head home first, and then I'm gonna spill all the beans. And this is quite possibly the most important tip of the video, so make sure you're sticking around because you don't want to miss the most important part, right? I'm gonna head home and then I'm gonna spill all the beans.
I'm gonna say is look how good Tucker's bulk is going. This man is ginormous now. Tuck, eat your food, come on. You just want to follow me around. You just want to follow me around like a good little puppy.
I am now sitting outside eating my post-workout meal, which is beef, rice, and broccoli with some sugar-free sauce, as I always do. But that brings me to tip number 5, and that is none of my training advice matters if your diet and your recovery are not on point. You need to make sure your diet, recovery, and training are on point if you want to make the most amount of gains, because if you're just going in the gym and training hard and not eating right and not sleeping right, you are doing yourself a ginormous disservice and you will not make nearly the amount of gains that you would if the other things were on point. And that's where a lot of people seem to mess up. They're like, Casey, I'm doing everything absolutely perfect with my training. I'm training hard. I'm training close to failure. I'm using full range of motion, everything else. And they're like, but I'm not making gains. That's why you're not making gains. It does not matter how hard you train if your diet and your sleep are not right. But I'm about to eat this, and y'all didn't think you were getting out of here without another bonus tip, right? Stick around, because I got one more for you.
Tucker, come here.
Look at that. He's a good trained pup. Oh, he's biting me. Tucker and I are about to go on a very nice long walk to get all this little puppy energy out. But that brings me to my bonus tip and the question, should I be doing cardio on my bulk? And my short answer is yes, you should be, but you shouldn't be doing too much. You definitely want to do cardio to make sure that you're keeping your heart healthy and just so that your cardiovascular system is good so that if you need to run somewhere, you can without being super winded. And while you're lifting, it also helps because you don't want to be out of breath when you're doing things like squats and things of that nature, but you don't want to be doing too much cardio that it puts you back into a calorie deficit or at maintenance calories. You want to be able to stay in that calorie maintenance. So for me, that's around 8,000 steps a day. I like to get moving. I like to stay active, but I don't do too much. And I normally achieve that just by walking this little guy. If I was cutting, obviously I'm going to hop on the treadmill and I'm going to track it a little bit more meticulously, but that's how I've been doing it right now. And it's been working great. And he loves it. Those are all the tips I have for you today. If you found this useful at all, I would appreciate if you like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me out and it helps the channel grow. And that is the end goal. Make sure you drop down in the comments what you want to see next and if you like these type of videos. But I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I will catch you in the next YouTube video. Peace.